Live?
Have you seen a selfie stick?
I've seen a selfie stick. That's how they work.
Yeah, that's how they work. I don't know. Yeah, so
no Facebook Live.
No Facebook Live. Okay.
Right.
We can?
Yeah,
Or
we
not?
can do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Instagram Live? What is that?
Instagram? You want to Instagram and I'll Facebook?
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too.
What does one say?
Okay, I get my phone. Where's my phone? Oh, it's over here. Thank you for going on this freaking adventure with me.
I'm seriously so happy that you found me and really thankful because I love podcasts.
You're going to be on a podcast.
I'm
It'll be downloaded by maybe 100 people. I don't know. Maybe as it grows. As of right now, it'll be downloaded by 100, but maybe as the channel grows and all that stuff, it'll go more. We'll see.
Yeah, it's true.
What's on my mind?
That is the cool thing about podcasts. It's a documented journey of where you're coming as an interviewer and the people that you interview, but as a project in and of itself, it's like you'll see how it grows because those recorded podcast episodes remain.
Yeah, and I'd love to help set up too with your podcast. Let's see. I
need to figure out what I want.
I don't think I can go sideways, which is a bummer.
That's the best way, right?
That's the best way. Let's see. We can. Let's see. So
have you ever done live?
Yeah, I'm going to start doing more live because it's such a good way to grow audience and stuff. All right. Oh my gosh. All right, we're just going to go for it?
Just go for it.
Okay.
We're going for it.
It seems really dark.
It does seem dark. I think that you need to touch the screen. Oh, it's because we're backlit.
It's really dark.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a little bit less dark backlit. Oh, there we go.
Yay!
Okay, we're going to keep it right there.
Okay.
Bree and I are podcasting.
We're podcasting.
What? If we look at the table, here's my selfie stick. Can you see the thing on the table? There's a mic, and then there's a computer over there. I don't even know if you can see that. So let's put it back over
official.
Here. Yeah,
it is. It feels very official.
We're gonna
and casual.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your podcast going to be about?
Only time will tell. I need to think about it.
Right.
If I had to decide right now off the top of my head, it would be about happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I need to probably reel that in a little bit and have a more specific focus. So we'll see.
Sure.
But what is yours about?
Well, this one is specifically for kind of engineer people who are logical, rational, and who want to hack their emotional intelligence. You know, engineers are awkward.
Not all engineers are
not all
awkward.
Engineers, but I come from a background of social awkwardness. And someone
are you an
really
engineer?
No, but I'm logical and left-brained and
okay.
everything like that. So I can think how they think.
So you resonate with
their struggles.
Other people who are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the business partner I'm working with, he used to be a software engineer. And so we just connect well with that audience.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're all about teaching people step-by-step ways to become more confident, become more social, more persuasive, more influential.
Nice. And what are the benefits of
What's up, Eric? How's it going?
Yeah.
Hey, Eric.
What are the benefits of being more social?
I mean, people, so the main thing that we are finding is that people want jobs.
Okay.
They want jobs. They want to get hired. They want to get promoted.
Yeah.
And people, they think they need to be really good at programming. That's true. But you also need to be able to connect with team members. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to stand up to your boss and take a hard line on some position.
Stand up to the man.
Stand up to the man.
You gotta be able to.
No, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
This looks really funny. With on that screen over there, my hand is just this little.
That's the selfie stick.
I know, that's the selfie stick. The backlight. I didn't realize the backlight was going to be.
That's how.
such
That's
a
how that
big thing.
works.
I gotta like keep it at that angle right there. So Bree, what's your Instagram channel name?
My Instagram
And what's it about?
account.
Yeah,
My
or your
Instagram
website,
account.
or your website, your Instagram account. Yeah,
My
your
Instagram
website.
account is Brianna Deckard, so it's my name, BrianaDeckard, and I post a lot of yoga on there. So I post what makes me inspired, and if it inspires other people, then that makes me happy too.
You know what we could do too? Like Brianna's got like a Bree. That's her.
Bree.
That's what I call her.
I was Brianna when I created the account, and now I'm Bree, so it's never changed.
Like the cheese.
The handle Bree Deckard is now taken, so I can't have it. So I'll stick with Bree. But yeah, what you were gonna say.
I was curious too on how, like, your mentality on creating a online community.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck goes into that? Such a cool thing.
It's just like creating a community around you. Like, you have to be interactive with those people. So right now I have 10,000 followers on Instagram, but I've been very interactive with those people. Obviously not all of them, but it's when people comment on a photo, I always comment back to them and I make it personal, and I let them know that I've read their message, or if people direct message me, then I write back to them. I thank them if they comment on something saying that they like it or that it inspired them, then I reach back out. So yeah, very similar to being in the physical world. It's interaction. It's a two-way street. Engagement.
So when you first started this, what was your mindset? Was it like, I'm going to start an Instagram channel and I'm going to become popular? Or was it something like, hey, I really like yoga. This is a weird thing. Hey, Anna, too, by the way.
Anna.
Oh, hey, Britt.
Hey, Britt.
I've known Britt and Eric since I was like 4 years old. And 2 years
that's
old.
awesome.
Kind of crazy.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
We're making a podcast.
Yeah.
Episode.
And we're talking about how you started your Instagram account at Bree Deckard. And so you started it just
when I started it was my personal account. It was like I was in college, and it was just like any other, most people just post whatever they want on their Instagram account, right?
Yeah.
So it was just a way to connect with friends and family that I already had. And then my Instagram account has seen so many different themes of my life. So for a while I was fashion blogging, and I would post so much of my fashion blog content on my Instagram. Yeah. But probably since 2014, it's been yoga. And that's around the time that I started practicing very consistently and started my teacher training. I became a yoga teacher, and now I do a lot. So my favorite thing, I'm very creative, and so one of the things that I like to do with that is do frame lapse yoga videos and pair them with music and find a synchronicity to the music that I'm using and the yoga poses that I'm doing or flowing through. So it's a flow. It's a synchronization and a flow.
I saw that one with Cindy and you.
Oh yeah.
Cindy's just working for 3 hours and you're doing yoga. She doesn't even look at you one time. How long was that time frame? Was that
That was probably a 5 minute, maybe close to 10-minute little flow that I did, but then it's all compressed into 1 minute because
she didn't look at you once.
She didn't. I know. It was funny because we were working together, and I was lying on the floor doing work because work needs to be done during the day, and then I was getting restless, and I was like, I'm going to record a yoga video, and she just kept working, and I was trying not to bother her, but she was completely unfazed. When I looked at the video later, I was like, she knew I was back there, but she was just
I like that too. If I'm working, I'm so bad at multitasking.
Oh, I see.
By the way,
that's a good thing.
Hey, Jared Bothwell. We have the same name, almost. We're doing a podcast right now. There's actually a little thing over there, and we got a mic. Let's see if we can show the mic. There we go. Yeah, so we're just setting up here in the shop.
In the shop.
In the studio.
The studio.
This is so awkward for me to hold. I gotta get a stand. I'm holding it with my right arm right now.
We can start the podcast.
So we're gonna start the podcast, and there will be a link later to it. It's basically we're just gonna continue this conversation. But check it out. Check out Bree's profile. What's it again?
Thank you. It's Brianna Deckard. So Instagram at Brianna Deckard, BrianaDeckard. And I just recently started, so I'm a yoga teacher in the Bay Area. I teach at Google, actually, and I'm going to start leading more yoga retreats in Nicaragua as an adventure. So it's like we won't just stay in one place. We take you to different places, and you get to see like a variety of different tastes of the culture in Nicaragua. And we do yoga in all of those places. Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome.
Thanks.
All right. If you guys have comments, I'll answer them later, but we're going to sign off now. Peace. Bye. 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 Okay.
It saves that video, right?
Yeah, so I'll post that on my blog too, because then it's
I was gonna say, if you can,
it's more content.
If you can download that, can you email it to me?
Yeah.
Or Drive, Google Drive.
Let's see, I can do that. I think I pressed keep, so I think it's doing it. That was awesome. Hell yeah.
Yay.
I think it's going.
Well done. First live.
I have fun doing live. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll just go. Anyways, this is sick. I think it needed. Yeah, I pressed keep.
I think you go.
Or is it my timeline that I need to do? Let's see.
Maybe if I look on my.
Oh, I can check mine. It's cool.
Super cool. Facebook, and then I can look.
There we go. Yeah.
It saved it, and then you can post that to your Instagram too.
I need to get an Instagram.
Oh, you don't have an Instagram?
I don't have one.
Yeah, get one.
Yeah, I need to get one. See if I can tag you too real quick.
You used to have Instagram, didn't you?
I used to. I was certainly doing it with Yoga Belly, right? But then I just like stopped basically. Probably because I didn't have a lot of followers. You know, it was like intimidating to get started. But I mean, maybe that's a good place to start too. This will be kind of I think I'll just keep this whole thing for the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, do it. I know. That's what I was thinking.
I'll do a little introduction where I tell people. I'll snip some of this stuff out. But yeah, it was just, I wasn't popular. And
mine started that way too.
Yeah, you're right.
Like really, it was just my personal account, and I would post like pictures of my food and cute dogs that I saw.
Yeah.
And friends and my niece and nephew. Like I would post anything. But it's
I think you're right. Yeah, I like, because I realized I could do that. It's more like the work involved. I'm like,
it's a lot of work.
Want to like commit to the work.
Right, and we only have so much energy, so it's good to like focus it where it makes sense to focus it.
Yeah, that was a big thing too. I'm like, am I gonna like really work at this? But it's kind of funny, like how as I start one goal to start a business, and then we get a few people to take our course, and it's really good, and then now I'm thinking like, how do I get the word out more?
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking
Instagram, Facebook, website.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
But maybe you could eventually have someone manage those things for you, because it does take a lot of effort, but it's nice to know like what you want it to project to people, and then be able to maybe put that in the hands of someone else, so you don't have to do it.
And sometimes I'll do that. But I kind of want to like build it myself.
Yeah.
Like I want, because it's got to be me, right? It's got to be me. Like my soul and everything like that.
That's true.
So we'll see. But okay, so one of the questions.
Yes.
All right. We're diving in. We have been diving in. We're already like in the deep end.
We're already
treading water. Okay. We're doing great. Lots of laughter.
Yes.
Lots of laughter.
You should introduce me.
Oh, hey.
We don't know who I am.
So, how long have I known you for?
I was thinking about this on my car trip over here. We did our teacher training together. Or no, we didn't do teacher training.
Yeah,
we did our mentorship together.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago, maybe. And it's funny because you're no longer, you don't go to that studio anymore. And like, I do go to that studio some, but not as much as I used to. It's not as big of a part of my life anymore. And there are many people from that studio. It's an excellent place, but it's just like we've gone different ways from there, but have stayed connected. Like you and I have stayed connected, even though we're not really connected to the studio as much anymore. Yeah. Same with many other friends that I have. It's like they don't go to that studio, and we still exist outside of that space together. So thank you, Unnamed Studio.
Yoga Belly. It's fine.
Yeah. I love what Yoga Belly has done for me. It's brought many friends into my life that, like, even though we're no longer part of that space, we're still
it's fun. Yoga does that, where it like
yoga
brings people together, and then it's kind of like the whole Buddhist teaching of things come into being, and then they exist, and then they fade away. And that's it's very yoga.
Yeah, everything's always changing, but
so an introduction,
yoga is
right?
about connection. Anyway,
Oh, let's get into that later.
We will get into it. Oh,
that's interesting.
Oh,
That's interesting. Okay, so Brianna Deckard, she is got a very unique Instagram profile on yoga, and she's got a little community, and she's got a little yoga community going on, and she is a spiritual leader. Quite frankly, that might sound weird for you to hear, but you're teaching yoga in your own essence and truth and your own spirit. So that's spiritual leadership. True. So you got a little community on yoga on Instagram, and you got a website, and you're leading retreats, and you're an interesting person. So I'm really delighted to have you on here. And
I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much. Seriously.
Yeah. So you were talking about yoga being connection. Maybe that question will come out of this first question.
Okay.
So this podcast is about emotional intelligence, right? And I realized one of the things emotional intelligence is about is overcoming emotional challenges.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, everyone has. Yeah. Everyone's got them, and everyone has failed at an emotional challenge before. They said something, they learned a lesson that they wouldn't have learned otherwise. So I'm wondering if you could take us to a moment or a story where your emotional intelligence was not 100%, and and kind of what lesson you got out of it.
Yeah.
Just take us there to that moment.
Well, first of all, I love what the podcast is about and that question, because I do think that, like you said, we all have, we're emotional human beings, and we experience positive, we experience negative, and like all the ranges in between. And because of that, we're able to grow. Like, I think when we meet challenging emotions, or when we fail, or emotional intelligence fails us, I guess is how you framed that, we grow from that. Like, we learn so much. So I think for that, what a tough question to start with.
So we didn't ask for the questions before, and I was like, should I tell her? Like, I'm gonna dump some hard questions on her and like prepare a story beforehand.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like the most.
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be the most.
I was distraught.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I wanted to ask those people these questions, because I was listening to Entrepreneur on Fire, and he always starts off with like, "What's your worst moment?" And like he frames it like, "What's your worst moment on the entrepreneur journey?" So it's a little bit of a framing, but I was like, people struggle. Like people connect to that, and yeah,
that's true. I think one time that I can think of specifically is like being part of a community or a friend group, and realizing that I no longer fit there. Like, it wasn't benefiting me, and it wasn't filling me in the way that I needed to be filled, and making the decision to leave that, because it's hard. Community is something that keeps us going, whether we're moving forward in a positive direction or a negative direction. We're moving forward somewhere. We're affected by the people that we're around. And I think that it's good to be independent, and it's good to be able to recognize, like, we're in control of our own emotions. We create our own happiness. But I do think that the people that we surround ourselves with closely, we become like those people. We share habits, and we share thoughts and feelings, emotions, and all of the things. So for me, I guess then where I failed in that was how do I word it? Like, giving too much of my energy to too many people. A friend had just recently put it to me. Actually, Keisha had just put it to me. One of our mutual friends had put it to me that, like, she gives energy to a few people. It's like very few people she gets to know on a really deep level. And I found that interesting because she's a very social person and like she meets people. She's not shy at all. She talks to anyone and everyone. And she said, it's not that I'm shy when I meet someone new. It's like I am very bubbly and I recognize that that's part, I'm happy being that way and that's part of who I am. It's like a bubbly person by nature. But
she only like
she chooses a few select people to like really go deep with. And I was like, that's good. Like, I think that's something that I'm continuing to figure out right now because I am a very social person and I love to talk to everybody and I like to make new friends. But to be balanced and to be happy, I think that I work best when I have a few really close friends that I know I can depend on. Dependability is huge for me.
Yeah.
And if you expect that you can depend on 100 different people, that's not realistic. So yes.
Got it. Yeah, that seems like kind of a interesting, like a life lesson people need to learn more of. Like, I think one of the most powerful things people can do to shift their confidence, to just be happier, be more productive, be more successful, or whatever. Changing their friend group, and so many people I don't think ever do. Like
and not always
they're the same old friends, kind of.
That's
kind of, I don't know.
If you grow up with the same people,
or something like that. Like,
maybe not even changing the friend group, but just every once in a while taking account of like who is in my life, or like, does it feel like a struggle to keep in touch with this person? Or do I feel like I'm trying really hard, making a big effort to keep these people or this person in my life, when I think the universe like gives and takes what we need to have given and taken. So it's like, if we're making such a struggle to continue to be with a person or a group of people, then it might be a good sense. It might be a good clue that we just need to like let go, release. And if that community is meant to stay in your life, or that person is meant to stay in your life, then it will happen naturally.
I like that. So kind of being open to like, quote unquote, the signs of the universe.
Yeah.
But like kind of
being open to letting things go.
Being open to letting things go.
Which also opens you up to letting things come.
Yeah. It's interesting how that works.
Right?
When one door closes, another one opens.
As they say.
Yeah. As they say. You know what? I think I left a community too, and then another door opened.
Yeah. It always does.
Yeah. That's the key.
And it doesn't have to be a permanent thing either. Yeah, that's the key.
That's the key to like, you know, if one door closes, another one will open. Because if you don't believe that if a door closes, that another one will open, if you're like, if this door closes, it's not going to open again.
It can be a scary thing.
It's scary.
Yeah.
And you won't close that door. You'll like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have
that's
that
the key,
often.
is thinking there's another.
There will always
there's
be
another door
else.
that opens up.
But it's hard.
It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be hard. If someone's struggling with that, well, how would you apply yoga? You know, someone imagine that they're stuck in a friend group, and maybe they grew up in a hard childhood, whatever. They might be like from outside the country, or they're new here, whatever. They don't feel like that many friends, and they don't feel like they will be able to make new friends if they or their job or whatever. They don't feel like they'll have another opportunity.
Yeah.
What would yoga say to that?
That's an excellent
spiritual
question.
guide. Oh gosh. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Lots of laughs here.
Yeah.
Hack your emotional IQ.
Yeah.
It's emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah. EQ.
Yeah. So that's an excellent question, because it takes me back to that first thought that I had about connection. So yoga, to me, like at its roots, yoga means to yoke, right? To yoke. And at its roots, I think, not that kind of yoke with an L. Okay, so connection, it's connection to self, it's connection to those around you, your community. It can be connection to environment, nature, but also the greater, the highest. It's connection to all of those things, all the different layers.
You're right.
I'm like,
I was being facetious earlier, like, yoke, like, because I've heard that
true.
before, like yoke, like where you yoke an ox or whatever, something like you tie a tight knot around an ox's neck or something.
That's what yoga means.
It's a good analogy, right? You tie a tight knot.
But that is, like, if you look in some spiritual texts, it will say that yoga is unity. Yoga is to yoke.
Yeah.
And yoga is connection. It's connection to self.
It's like a strong connection, you know? It's not like it's like this rope around an ox's neck that you're like, you know, you're guiding the ox, or the ox is guiding you or pulling you. It's like it's like a symbiotic relationship. You know, it's not just like some sort of like loose Facebook connection or whatever. It's like a, you know, visceral. Yeah.
Because you feel, wow, that's true.
Right.
Because you feel like then the ox feels your guidance. You feel their push and pull or whatever. And that's the same way that it works with yourself or people of the universe. It's like you feel the push and pull. We don't always honor it. That goes back to like sometimes feeling like you might need to release a friend group or whatever. It's like you feel that pull, but do you choose to honor it?
Yeah.
Same with self. It's like, I think we oftentimes feel things that we need, and do we choose to honor it? I feel like I need to give up that second cup of coffee, but do I choose to honor it?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's funny how we
feel like I need to go on a walk, but do I go?
Like ignore our body's signals or intuition.
It's true.
Whatever.
Or just like the signs. Yeah.
Is that how yoga helps people connect? Is just like kind of more, you know, reading the signs of the universe, whether that's an intuition, a gut sense.
It makes you more present.
Present, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you're present, you notice those signs. Like as I've practiced yoga, I've become more in tune with my body's cues. So I notice things like when I'm feeling a little bit more fatigue and I'm doing all the things that I need to, like, that I think that I need to do, you know, I might realize like, oh, you know, I'm not drinking as much water as I could be drinking, or, you know, I notice that when I get out and I walk 20 minutes, even around lunchtime, that I feel better. Because I'm present, I notice those things more.
Yeah.
And when you're present, I think I'm a firm believer that the universe gives us signs for things. And I think that we notice those too, because we're more present. It's like we're more present. So we start to notice like Spanish words everywhere. And it's like, oh, you know, I've always really wanted to learn Spanish, so I'm going to do it. We notice signs.
Yeah.
Because we're present. When we practice yoga.
So like, I love it. You're present, you're noticing signs.
Yeah.
And I know you work at Google too. You've been doing the
teach yoga
at Google. Yeah. Like I imagine a lot of engineers, software programmers, you know, they sit and they get in the green room.
The green room.
Where you code, right? Okay. Where you're in the coding zone for like 4 hours, whatever. They're just deep focus. True. And I know they got a lot of meetings to do and everything. But someone who's maybe an artist or whatever, just they create things. And their body, like they might say, oh, that's all really well at, you know, connecting the body and feeling signs. You're a yoga teacher. Like you can do that for a living. That's great. Like I'm happy. For my job, I have to work, I have to code. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to take yoga. I can't do that. How would you recommend someone, you know, step by step, if they don't have enough time to take an hour-long yoga class?
I think anybody can find the time, because it's such a positive thing for your health,
if
right?
There's a will, there's a way.
Making money is a thing we need to do to live. I think taking care of our body and our breath and our mind is also equally, if not more important. And so, yes, we have to work, but we also have to take time to tend to ourselves, what we need. So I would say making that recognition, just like telling myself, like, I'm worth my health and happiness, because I think what most of us want most, I think if we're all honest, is like we want happiness. And I think more than that is we want presence, because happiness comes and goes and we can choose to be happy and bounce back, you know, but we want to be present, and that leads to more moments of happiness and really fully enjoying or being like joyful in life, the small moments, I think. So recognizing that first is just like, I'm worth it. I'm worth my joy, having joy, and then taking action. So either seeking out a 1 hour class, and if that seems like too big of a step for someone who things like, if your work offers it, that's awesome. Take that up. Like if your work offers you a free class, do that free class, yoga or meditation. And I know for some people too, it's like, it can be time or money. So do shorter practices, like even starting some kind of morning routine where you wake up 30 minutes earlier and you drink a glass of water, sit and meditate for 5 to 10 minutes, and then do a 10-minute online yoga video. I have a YouTube channel and I post a lot of...
What's the YouTube channel called?
Yoga with Bree.
Yoga with Bree.
Yeah, find me on YouTube. Yeah, I post a variety of different flows, and I'm not the only teacher posting free yoga videos on YouTube. So it's like you find a teacher that you resonate with and you do it, because I offer it to people as a free way for them to be able to practice 10 minutes to 30 minutes to 60 minutes. But many other people are doing that too. But I just want to make it accessible to people. And
Bree is like an extremely graceful yogi.
Yogi.
I was thinking of that video with Cindy, and like, just the way you were moving, it was, I don't know. I've been doing weightlifting for such a long time now. There's a certain power and push and intensity and overcoming pain that I've come to value. And it was really refreshing to see like the flow, the yoga flow. Like I was like, oh yeah, like that's the essence of yoga. Like weightlifting, the essence is, kind of more of a, like that.
Yeah, like a pound.
Yeah, it's like a pound, and there's value to that. But the yoga flow was like, I was like, oh yeah. Like,
it's like water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that you say that, because I thank you, by the way. Like, I love to think that I'm graceful, and that's really kind of people to notice. But I think that yoga brings out the essence of a person. So it's like, my practice is going to look different than his practice is going to look different than her practice, but it connects you to what you are at that moment. It might not be a constant, like we change as people, but like wherever you're at, you get to experience like deeply who you are. And I love grace and ease and elegance. And so I think that comes out in my yoga practice, and it's something that I get to like share with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it come out? Like, I know what you mean. Like,
how does
each
that
person
come out
has their own style.
Well, I think,
in your experience teaching people, how does it come out?
Yeah, I mean, when you start a yoga practice, if you're new to yoga, I think that oftentimes it's just learning the poses and like thinking, am I doing this right? And it's a lot of getting out of your head. Right? It's a lot of like throwing up all the thought, I think is how it's like the most ungraceful way to say that. But it's like, it's like purging. When you first start yoga, it's like purging. It's like a cleanse. It's like when you cleanse and you like have grossness happen in the beginning.
So that happens.
Yeah, I think so. But I've never actually, from what I hear, my friend told me.
Like they're shitting out everything? Or?
I think, it's like you might throw up, or you might like have really uncomfortable bowel movements. I don't know. Okay. But it cleanses you out. It cleans you out. So anyways, yoga is the same way, not physically, I don't think, but mentally it's like, it's moving meditation. And so it makes your mind purge. When you first start, it can be really like all of those negative thoughts might come up. Like, am I doing this right? There might be self-consciousness. There might be like, I'm not as good as the person on the mat next to me. I went through that. I hear it from a lot of different people. And the more you practice, the more you get out of your mind. And especially when when I'm practicing, someone else is guiding me, a teacher is guiding me, and I put my trust in that teacher. I put my trust in myself and in my yoga practice. I'm able to turn my mind off and just flow, like just be whatever comes out. And I leave my mat feeling so fresh. It's like, it's just like I have a blank slate.
Wow.
Yeah. And that happens in a 60-minute yoga class. Wow. And it doesn't always, like sometimes I leave the mat and I feel tired. Like we're very diverse human beings. So but overall, like the practice continues to be.
I just want to like honor what you just said right there. That's powerful stuff. Like, moment of silence. That was good. No, that was really, really cool. And I like too what you mean. How I think some of these yoga poses are like, they're kind of silly, like you could be doing a push-up with your breath, but then everyone's body knows how to do a push-up, or like the basic.
Body's intelligent.
Yeah, but then you're doing these like warrior twos and Surya Namaskars, it like forces the body into like different positions.
Yeah.
You have to get out of your head to feel.
You do,
you
to feel.
Yeah. It like forces you like, oh, this is not a natural, I don't see, it's kind of natural, but it's like, it's just different. That forces you to like really pay attention.
And something, I love what you just said. My students, I consider my teachers as well. Like they'll teach me things all the time, just by observing their practice. But sometimes they'll talk to me and things that come up in conversation. I'm like, wow. A student was asking me about chaturanga, which is a yoga pose for those of you who aren't familiar. And it's a challenging posture, but he was asking me how to properly do it. And he was like, oh yeah, the body, after I explained it, he's like, I was telling him to continue to practice this preparatory pose for it. And he's like, yeah, as you practice something, our bodies find the most efficient way to do it. And the body's intelligent. It like maximizes its efficiency. And I was like, he's right. That's so true. I think that's something good to keep in mind for myself and my yoga practice even, is that as I practice, there might be a pose that I feel like I don't completely understand. For me right now, that's triangle pose or like any hip opening poses. Yeah.
It's just a common one.
Yeah, they're so common, but it's the body, and that's why I have to continue to do it. I have to continue to go to practice. And when I face poses that I don't like, I have to continue to do them, because when I continue to do them, the body is going to maximize its potential. It's going to make it more efficient. It's going to make itself more efficient. It's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to get better. And I see that happen. It's like things that I couldn't do when I just made an Instagram post about this. Like things I couldn't do when I was 20. I'm 27 now. And things I couldn't do when I was 20, I can do now. Things I couldn't do when I was like 18, 16, 12, 10, my body can do now. And it's amazing to me that like at 27, I can do these handstands and crow poses.
So after college, I lived at this monastery for a while.
Yeah.
And like the people there were so young. They'd be like in their 50s, 60s. There weren't that much older people than that, but they looked young.
Right?
Like this yoga, mindfulness stuff, it makes you younger. Or at least slows your aging down and everything, at least at a minimum. And I know science backs that up.
It can't make us younger, right? But it brings out our youthfulness.
It brings out our youthfulness.
Yeah, which is like playfulness, joy.
Yeah.
And I think that it's reflected in how we appear too.
Oh yeah.
Like it radiates out through our appearance.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna switch now to so we went through the emotional challenge, leaving a community, getting those signs, being stretched too thin. Those were some lessons you learned and kind of to nurture new friendships and things like that at a deeper level. In another emotionally challenging situation, how did you win?
How did I win?
Like kind of like high stakes, crucial conversation or whatever. I'm going into this, and if I, don't handle this right, like someone could be pissed off. Whatever, I might, whatever. Something like a group might be annoyed at me. How did you prepare mentally for that?
This is a deep one. This is going to be a deep one. So I struggled with anorexia for many years. And I feel like I've won in the sense that now, food will always be something that I feel like I'm learning to have a healthy relationship with. But I feel like where I'm at now, I have a much healthier relationship with food. And I definitely have a healthier relationship with my body. And that was a big thing for me, was like not having a healthy relationship with my body, not caring and nurturing my body.
So what was your energy beforehand? Was not caring about, kind of neglecting your body?
Neglecting was one, but I think that a big part of it was probably caring too much what other people thought and not taking care of myself, like not putting myself first, because I think self-care is so important. Like to be able to love our most wholeheartedly, we have to love ourselves. Like we have everything we need within ourselves. And to recognize that is such a beautiful thing, because it's like we are a physical reflection of love, right?
You gotta start a podcast.
I gotta start a podcast.
You gotta start a podcast. I swear to God.
Thank you.
I swear to God, like this is good shit.
Thank you. But to be whole in yourself it's what we were created to be. Like we were created to realize we have everything we need. And then realizing that, we go out and we share it with other people and we receive from other people. And it's so much more fulfilling of an interaction to love and to receive and give love when we feel that we are ourselves complete.
Yeah, we're loving ourselves.
And so I wasn't taking care of myself. And I think life takes us through ups and downs. So it's like various points in life, various points in a day, I might not be taking care of myself properly.
Yeah, sure.
But when it comes down to it, it's like beforehand,
so
I wasn't
emotional
caring.
skills, like, so now you take care of yourself, like you practice self-care. So that's like yoga for you.
Yoga,
just feeling your body.
giving myself treats.
Giving
when I
yourself
want
treats.
Yeah, not overdoing treats. Treats can be anything.
I think
it can be like,
people are listening, they should look like at the tone you're talking about. Like I like the tone in which you're talking. Like, I give myself treats. Like, I think it's really important to pay attention to the tone in which we talk to ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like you know the tone. Like, I give myself treats and I'm easy on myself. And I'm,
speaking to yourself the way that you would speak to someone that you really, really love.
Yeah.
And even my mental chatter.
Speaking to someone you really, really love. Oh, so kind of like.
We talk kindly.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk kindly. Like a little baby. You're not a little baby. Hey, little baby. No, I guess like. I'm imagining what you know. Hey, here's a little treat. Here's a little treat.
I can't even talk in that voice. Like I would try to banter with you, but I can't talk in that voice.
I think I'm doing it wrong.
Probably.
I don't know. If there's a real baby there, I'd probably like. Yeah, it's a dog voice.
But yeah, the tone of voice is important.
Yeah.
Self-care.
So we can kind of start wrapping up here. Let's see.
Did I answer that question completely?
Yeah, however you want to take it, yeah. I should prepare more questions, but
there was one other question you asked me.
Yeah. Well, the last question I like to wrap up with too is what's your life hack? What's your emotional life hack? You know, how do you take yourself from feeling bad emotionally to feeling good emotionally as quick as possible, but in a healthy way?
As quickly as possible.
In a healthy way.
Oh my God, there's so many things that I can answer this question with.
Go for it. Name them all.
Name them all. Morning routine is big for me, and I mentioned that earlier. It's like waking up, drinking water, meditation, and yoga, like all in the first 30 minutes of, if you have more time, that's excellent, but I know a lot of people don't. So like the first 30 minutes of your day are important. But if it's like throughout the day, if it's something like I'm in the middle of my day and I need a hack right now to feel more peace, more calm, more ease or whatever, it would be like to just stop what you're doing. Because at any moment you can stop. You can stop like at any time and just take 5 to 10 deep breaths. Like close your eyes, take 5 to 10 deep breaths, because the breath, I think, it's our spirit. And so to honor it and to nurture it, to breathe brings so much positivity to our person.
Wow, I'm like change my breath right there.
Yes.
I'm like,
good. I don't know it all. Like I want to learn more about the breath, because I think the breath is amazing.
I never really got the fire breath, to be honest.
Oh, breath of fire? Yeah. Sounds like a dog sniff. But I want to learn more.
Like I get that if you do it for like 20 minutes or an hour, it'll make you feel like really high, because the oxygen like not messes with us, whatever. But I'm like, and I know Tony Robbins does it too, so there must be something to it. But like, I don't know, I just never got on a lot. I should try it for like 5 minutes in a row. Yeah. Waking up and trying that. Yeah. I don't know, but I agree. The breath is really powerful and all that other stuff. Okay, everyone.
That's
Brandon Deckard.
Thank you.
Where's your Instagram again? Last time.
You can find me on Instagram. It's Brianna Deckard, BrianaDeckard. And I have my website, Bri Yoga. And I lead yoga retreats and post recipes and yoga videos that people can share or that people can follow along to.
Awesome.